Hello and welcome to day 2 of the Supabase hackathon. If you haven't seen the previous video, I'll have it in the top right, so check that video out as well. So we set up the initial Prisma schema, and the objective here is to start coding the UI. But I was thinking about this just yesterday, and I was thinking this current database schema allows you to create multiple votes for the same answer. So I think it would be a good idea to add a unique constraint between the user ID and question ID. They're double brackets. There we go. Cool. So that way, there can only be one vote per user per question, if that makes sense. They can't vote for and against at the same time. Yeah, cool. And I think that's the only thing that we need to change for the moment. And I will do a final migration. Oh, let me figure out what this issue is and I'll come back to you. Okay, so that issue was caused by me being on a VPN. Don't know why that would cause an issue, but we'll just ignore it for the moment. Yep. Unique vote per question per user. Awesome. Cool, so let's start off by having a look at the index page. And so on the main page, we want to see a list of questions. So we'll create a component, list questions list. Whoops. And we will create a new component. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna co-locate these files. So components and then questions list tsx async function questions list. Cool. And we'll just return list of questions coming soon. And let's do an import real quick. And another thing is we'll get the dev server running so that I can actually see what I'm coding. Fantastic. Actually, that should be below this. Okay. Let's have a look. Okay, so we'll put that there. Awesome. Okay, so inside the list, the questions list, we'll get an initial list of questions. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the initial questions. Whoops, if I can type. So then I'll just leave it empty, but load the questions here, and then pass it to a client component which actually renders the list of questions. Question list renderer. That way we can use pagination on the client side. So we'll do a question list renderer tsx, and we need this to be use client export const function. Whoops, export function default function questions list. Initial question, that's perfect. And this is going to be a type initial questions questions erased. Another thing that I want to do is actually generate the new Prisma schema so that it has all the changes. And here we'll just, for the moment, render it out. Question.question and oh, does the question schema not have questions? They should be created by. Cool. And if we just re-migrate and then question created by, and then when we generate again and we run the dev server, this is still going to have an issue, so we want to do created by ID. Okay, so we'll just leave it as the ID for the moment, and import this. Initial questions should be of type questions array. Let's fix that. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a questions.ts file under actions so that I can create some server actions here. Get questions equals async. Perfect. And we'll do pagination here. Page number question mark. And I think we can assign this to a default value. Okay, nice. Awesome. Okay, so we want to get the questions, whether they're logged in or not. So we just want to do a direct Prisma query. So Prisma dot, wrong Prisma. Prisma is that the wrong Prisma? Questions? That is the wrong Prisma. Where are we importing? Where's the dv.ts? We haven't created a dv.ts. That explains it. Okay, let's do that. So we don't want that Prisma. That Prisma's the wrong Prisma. And let's create a dv.ts file. Okay, so if I remember correctly, you need a singleton pattern, but I can't remember the code off the top of my head, so I'm just going to copy it over from another project. Cool. So I've just copied this code across from another project, and this just ensures that it uses a singleton pattern. So even if you call Prisma multiple times, it only ever uses the initial instance. So this should be Prisma.questions.find many. And should we have a page size? So is size the right word? Page. We'll just have a take, and we'll assign this to a number, and a take will be equal to 10 questions at a time. So cool. Yep, that's fantastic. And let's just get data. And let's return data. Cool. So let's do get questions here. And wait. Get questions. What's the issue? Oh, where is this getting it from? Okay. Let's move my page to be 0. We want this to be data equals initial questions, and then success equals, if not success, then we need to show fail to load questions. Perfect. And otherwise, that's worked. Right, well, let's see what's happened. Cool. So there's no question in there right now, so that should be empty, and that's perfectly fine. We also want to say that if they get to the bottom and put the use effect. We don't need a use effect. Okay, if they get to the bottom, then there should be a load more button. Actually, we also want a total, if I could type total questions count, so that we don't overload. So load more button, question, loaded all is equal to questions dot length is the same as total questions. Okay, cool. So, and we also need to add that here. We'll just format this nice and early so that it doesn't get messy. Total questions, and we'll just test this with 100. Load more button here. Load more button.tsx. Default function load more button. Loaded all is a Boolean, and loaded all. And we also want to say on click void. Perfect. And here we want to say div. For the moment, we'll just do this. Thank you, ChatGPT. And we need to import it, of course. We need an on click here. Cool. So we have a load more button, and let's just do a console.log just to make sure that load more questions is being pressed. Console. Perfect. And what happens if we set the questions list this to 0? Oh, fantastic, that's worked. Although I don't like using the default button here, it just looks a bit ugly, so I'm just gonna delete that for the moment, and we go to our favorite UI library, ui.shadcn. If we go to docs, installation, NextJS, we've got an NextJS app open, so we want to do that. We'll just choose the default ones for the moment, and we can change this later. Okay, so that's added the Shadcn UI library. However, we already have a tailwind config.js. This is a tailwind config.js TS. Let's just merge them together. Tailwind config.js. Tailwind.config.js. TS. Huh. Okay. So where is this actually being used, if anywhere? Or just delete and hope that works. Is this gonna still look somewhat reasonable? Let's find out. Oh yeah, okay, fantastic. That's working. Working perfectly. It's decided to go light mode for the moment, but we'll figure that out later. What was the error that came up though? Or is it not going to come up again? No, it's not. Find many. I've seen this error before, but I can't remember how I fixed it. And it doesn't seem to be coming up again, so we'll just ignore it for the moment. Although, where is that button coming from? Oh, I haven't saved this. Okay, that would do it. Right, now let's import the Shadcn button. If we just copy this, npm. Cool. And if we just do npm run dev, button, oh, not tremor, we want components. Perfect. We'll just put loaded all. Cool. And in here we want to add a disabled equals loaded all on click. And let's see. So I've run into this issue before. I'm just going to skip ahead to when I fixed it because this has taken forever before, so we'll just figure it out and get back to you. Cool. So the issue here was that I was missing this from my environment variable, not the direct URL, but the general Postgres URL. So you just add that and then hopefully that should be fixed. And as you can see, that's working perfectly. Okay, rather than hard coding in 100 or 0, let's actually figure out how many it loads. So get questions, and we want to do this here. Total equals that. Total questions equals total. In fact, we can do this parallel, so we just do const data total equals await promise dot all. We copy this, and then we copy this, and fingers crossed. Cool. That's parallelized them. Don't know if that's a word. Right, well, let's see if that's worked. If we refresh this. Cool. Not sure what that is. We'll ignore it for the moment. And if we... Questions, where is this being used? This is total questions. Total questions. And if we just do a console.log data total questions, initial questions even. Typo. Initial questions. Oh, questions. Cool. Let's have a look. This will be logging here. Yep, that's worked perfectly. We'll just remove this log. Okay, now that we're actually loading the questions, we need to have the option to add a question. So let's also change that logout button into an actual Shadcn button rather than using the random button that they've given us. Auth button. And hot what? We added so much, but yep, better. And if we just log out, back, that login needs to be a button. So if you ever have a link inside of a button, a Shadcn button, you can use the as child prop to just make everything look nice again. Cool. So if we just hit login, then we log in again. That's the wrong password. And of course, we don't have the protected page anymore. So after login, where is it going? Auth root. Aha. Okay. There we go. Now, if we do the same thing, sign in. Did I say that? Let's just do a protected return redirect. Aha, okay. Yeah. Cool. Take 2 if we log out and then log back in. Fantastic, cool. So now that that's working, we want to add a button where they can add a question and then they can add answers, basically. So to do that, let's create a new page. Or do we even need a new page for this? Maybe. I think it would be easier just to create a new page. So let's create a new page and we'll call it new and then page.tsx. Using function new question page return div page 1 new question. And then is it going to make this look pretty? Make it look pretty. Text large. And let's add a button that directs us to here from the homepage. So if we go to homepage, we see the questions list, we see the header. I think I'm going to get rid of that for the moment. We could, in theory, put it up here with the nav. Yeah, let's do that. Why not? Button, link, and we want to use the next/link rather than anything else that pops up. Press new question. And then we want to import components, and let's give it a bit of space. 3. Cool. So if we get new question, as child, if we hit new question now, we get taken to /new. Fantastic. Export default. Now, great. Okay, cool. So that now we actually want to display everywhere. So rather than putting it in here, let's yeet this and let's chuck it in the layout.tsx file inside main. So you need to just do a couple imports, add all missing imports. That doesn't come from there, that doesn't come from there. Okay, nice. And we could in theory also have a home button, but we'll add that later. And we probably should get some padding in somewhere. Item center gap 10. Cool. Okay. Let's focus on actually creating a new question now. Alrighty, so inside of here, we will set up the page where you can actually create the question and then offer up two answers so that people can vote. So let's go on with that. We want this to be a flex box. We want it to flex call. We'll container as well. Yeah, that will restrict it to the middle bit. But let's type this. Just have container, and then let's just do a BG red 500. So right, why is there so much padding there? Okay, let's have a look at the nav, which is in the layout.tsx file. H16. Okay. So rather than that, we'll do container here. That's going to center it. Nope, if I type it in correctly. There we go. Okay, nice. Cool. So if we go back to this page, move this BG red 500, store the container, and let's add a little bit of a gap. And we want this to be a form. Okay, so here, let's just do this. And rather than using the default inputs, let's use a Shatsian inputs. Input. And then store this. Input. We'll do the same here. Here, I've imported the wrong one. Like, yep. This needs to be input from component, and this should be button from component. Okay, cool. And we want this to be first option, second option. And let's add some IDs to this. Or is it name? Question. We'll add both. Question. Yep. Same thing here. Let's have a look at what this looks like. Nice, okay, cool. There needs to be a bit more of a gap between these, so let's add that. 8 flex call. Cool. And actually these two can be in the same line, so we'll just do this and this. and justify stretch. I think should stretch smart. No? Okay, width for... Yeah, that's the one. Okay, cool. So this has to have a width 4 as well. And there we go. In fact, there's a bit too much space between these, so let's drop this down to gap 2, gap 2, gap 2. And this can go down to the gap 6 as well. Okay, nice. Where's the actual submit button? I don't see it. Oh, why is it hidden? Some weird styling. Thank you, ChatGPT again. Awesome. And let's increase the size of this H1 because this is tiny. 3XL. And when we actually submit the form action, we want this to run a action from here. Export const new question equals async, and then for data, I think. Have I forgotten these? Oh, I have. Good shout. Use server created by, doesn't matter. Actually, it does matter, but we're not getting it from the form data because that can be spoofed. Instead, we want to get it by using the auth library, but we'll figure that out in a second. In fact, let's just console.log form data for the moment. Wait, it should be that. And return redirect to there we go. And import next navigation. This needs an actual action. New question. Form data void. Oh, right, okay, so rather than wrapping this inside a JavaScript object, it should be form data, like that. Okay, nice. I think. Pineapple on pizza, yay or nay? Submit. That seems like it's worked fantastically. Yay or nay? Okay, fantastic. We love to see this. Oh, one more thing. The new question page, this should only be accessible if you're logged in. So let's have a look. Is ChatGPT going to help me out? Going to be to support this logged in. Const equals await Supabase Supabase client server, so create client. Auth get user. Oh my god, I can't do it. There we go. Okay, so auth.get user, and this returns a user response type, which is data. user and error. Okay, if error or not user, then we want to redirect them to /login. Yeah, you know what, that's fine, that works. And this is a server-side function, so we can use the redirect API. New question. Okay, and if I log out, and if I try to go to /new, it takes me to login. Fantastic, it's just working. Sign in, and then new question. Yep, great. Okay, cool. So you can now only access this if you're signed in. Although I feel like there's a couple of places where I'm going to be using this, so it might be worth me putting this into a function. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Don't want this. I'm going to close all of these. Close all. We want to go to the questions. Okay. So let's get const question form data dot get question as string const first option. There should be _o. Second option equals true. Now let's just make sure that we're actually extracting that out correctly. Pineapple. Oh. Okay, so we need to validate if it's valid in the first place. We need to check if it's valid in the first place. New question. Pineapple on pizza. Yay or nay. Submit. Okay, nice, cool. Sounds working. And now what we want to do is create a Prisma query that will actually go ahead and add this question. But before that, we need to check if they're authenticated. So I believe it's the same code as we just did for this new page. If we check here. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna chuck that into like a utils file. Utils, Supabase, server, export const get user equals that, and we want to paste this. Cool. And we want to return user error. Oh wait. Cool. And that's a bit cleaner, and we can do the same thing in this page rather than doing this, all of this. We can do const user error equals get user. And, oh wait, again. Okay, nice. That's a bit cleaner. And now we can actually go ahead and do the validation and querying and talking to the database. So let's start off by validating everything. So if then return all fields are required, but this is a little JavaScript thing. Let's check. Is string, if not string. Okay, so if it's empty as well, then it will return true. Okay, that works. Okay, but we can do .trim then dot trimmed, then dot trimmed, and let's see what happens. Perfect. First option, second option, wish it was that easy. You sure ID? So created by ID, and then that's ID, and answers. Here is what we need to do. Create that and all that. Is it that easy? Okay, fair enough. Const new question equals, if not new question, then also rather than returning this, I'm going to redirect to /new / question mark error equals please fill in all fields. Hopefully, we'll see if that works. I think that will hopefully just URL encode them. I think it should be fine. But actually, no, it won't. No, it won't. Or you know what? Let's just add it. Plus encode URI component. Let's test that, see what happens. That way we don't need to... That way we can just get the error directly from the URL params. And do the same thing here. Otherwise it will have worked and you should be able to see that. Okay. So new question, and if we hit submit, please fill in all fields. Fantastic. And the other error, this error really shouldn't come up, so we don't really need to worry about that for the moment. Let's actually show this on the page. Okay. So, how do we get the URI search params from server component NextJS? I always keep forgetting. We'll put this and then response error, I guess, equals search params.error. Okay, let's see. And then we can just do search response error even. And rather than doing this, we'll do an alert from Shatsian. Of course. Alert. Okay, let's see if this is going to magically work. Please fill in all field. Fantastic. And what I'm going to do is is there variance on this? Oh, there is. Destructive. Whoops. I need that. Nice. Okay, cool. So if we just go to the homepage and then we click on new question, then that's not going to show up. But if we just hit submit without anything, then we get an error saying please fill in all fields, which is exactly what we want to see, which is perfect. Okay, so pineapple and pizza, yay or nay? Submit. Hey, fantastic. And if I'm not mistaken, that should be my user ID.
Yep.
Okay, nice. Well, let's make this look a bit better. So rather than just loading the question by itself, which is a bit boring, let's include answers. And in fact, there should only be 2 answers, so we'll just do true. And then we need to adjust the get questions over here. Yeah, here. Here? No, sorry, not here. Question list renderer. Initial questions, and we want to load answers as answers array. This is going to cause an issue. Property answers has been seen type. Is it? Answer array. No, it just seems to be working. What is it missing? Alright, well, I figured it out. It was because this should be wrapping around this, like so. And same thing here. In fact, this could get quite messy, so I'm just going to create a quick type definition. So we want questions and that, and then we want this to be wrapped in an array. So rather than doing all of this, question type, and the same thing over here. Right, okay, that's fixed it. And now let's make this look a bit nicer. So to do questions.map question and return card, which I will have to import from Shadcn again. Card, we want to copy this.
Yep.
Nope, that's from Tremor.
Can we can.
There we go. Okay. And let's give this a bit of padding and P5. And we want to do a big chunky title for for question.question, so the actual question itself. We want this to be quite big. Text 3xl.
Yep. So
Okay, nice. And we actually want this card to take up the full width, so width full, flex cool. Nope, width full as well. Let's have a look. Issue is move me around.
with me.
Okay, so there's a div just above this, a question list. Class name width full, We don't want width for, we want width container. Okay. Okay, nice. Okay, cool. That's working. And let's also render out the answers as well. So answer question dot answers dot map answer, and we want to do return. This is a client component. Okay, cool. Rather than using a label, we want this to be, we'll just use a P, and then we'll make this nice and chunky too. Text Excel, and we want this to be font bold. Is it text bold? Text bold. No, font bold. Font bold. Yep. Okay. Nice. Yay or nay? And we want this to be in a line. So class name. It's not here. Sorry. Div. Flex row, item center, justify stretch, and for each of these we want width for. So let's remove the width for from here. Don't know what that's doing there. And I believe if I'm not mistaken, that's working correctly. Yeah, let's put this inside a button. So button, and we want this to be a variant of type secondary bold. Okay, nice. Let's make them full width. So width for, don't know what that is doing, so we can eat that. And let's add a little gap between them. And between the question itself. Okay, nice. This seems to be working. Let's add a couple more questions. Actually, where's the gap gone? Why isn't there a gap there? Because I added a flex call. There we go. Okay. And also between the load button gap 10, let's just give it a big, nice chunky gap. Now let's just add the ability to actually vote, and then we can work it out from there. So rather than just doing answer string, we'll do, where is this answer coming from? This answer coming from there. Answer this. Answer type. Okay, cool. That's all good. Because this is a client component, I can do interactivity here directly. So, whoops. We also need to style these buttons based on what they voted for or against. So, okay. Well, let's focus on getting the voting working, and we can think about styling. So on click, let's add a vote function. Vote for. And we want this to return an updated question. An updated questions. Actually, let's just return void for the moment, and then we can figure out later. And vote. So not here. Inside actions, let's add a vote.ts. Export const vote equals perfect. Okay, cool. we want to start off by getting the user. And we want to get the ID of the user. So user ID equals actually if error, yep, then we want to redirect to login. Now we want to get the error, ID. Okay, I'm going to define this as user. Okay. Cool. Let's create the Prisma query. Prisma dot votes, and then answer ID, question ID. What's the issue? The number. The hell? Hold on. Schema. Vote. Wait, what? Oh, why is this a number? Sorry. String. Okay, my bad. And then, yeah. Well, I think this should be an upset, just in case they've voted for the opposite answer and then they vote for the current answer, then it should just like update. So create should be this, and then update should be, and then where should be once questions ID user ID. That's the one. And update should be that. Okay, cool, nice. Right, that was nice and easy. And now let's just return vote and success is true. And question list renderer. We want to have a vote function, so in here we want to change this to be vote actions vote. Okay, and this is going to cause an issue because we're not returning void. Rather than returning void, let's do vote and then success as boolean. Okay. In fact, let's extend this definition to have answers as well as vote. And that will be a vote object. Initial questions, get questions. Okay, so inside of data, we need to get the actual vote. So I want to get the votes where user ID. Is there a better way of querying this? Yes, there is, hopefully. Question ID is actually no, it would be user ID. User ID is okay, user ID could be potentially empty. So let's do this. Or undefined. Okay. Actually, if there isn't a user ID, then we shouldn't be getting votes at all. Okay, right. Let's change this to check if there's a user ID. Okay, so const user error equals get user, and let's change this so this could be fiddly. Okay, so this if let query equal that. If there is a user.id, then query equals that. Okay, perfect. And let's just remove votes from here. Include count of votes. Select votes. Okay. Is there a way to do distinct? If not, select votes. Okay. You know what? For the moment, we'll just do this. Well, actually, we'll just remove the count for the moment. And just have votes by user ID. Okay. Query. Oh wait, query. Okay. Cool. Okay, so basically now the votes object is optional, so we need to change this. Initial questions, votes could be optional, and this should be an array, question mark. Let's check this. Query, what's the return type of data? Query? Where's votes? Okay, votes, true. Votes, okay, yeah, cool. So it's that, and then it's question mark. Okay, perfect. Right, this should be votes there. And question vote. Okay, what's the issue here? Select vote returns. That's right, yeah. Why is this a number? ChatGPT, what are you doing? String, and this should be a string as well. Okay, has that fixed it? No, I can't. Is that because I was at the same time? Nope, that's not fixed it. This needs to be promise. Okay, promise. Okay, cool, nice. Okay, that's working. And we can add the vote button here. Actually, let's extract this out into its own function. Handle vote equals and change this to be question ID and answer ID. Okay, wait. Okay, so if not success, then console.log. Okay, we will handle this error properly in the next video, but for the moment we'll just put to do handle properly. And once we handle vote, we just want to refresh this specific question. So let's refresh question, which is going to be refreshed question ID string. It's going to return a promise of question type question mark. And then updated questions should be yep. And then now what we want to do is just update this questions array. So const new questions array equals questions.map, and then we basically just want to return, oh perfect, that, and we want to update questions array to that. What are you complaining about? Question type is not draw assignable. Should be. We'll see issue. Okay, so there's an error here. I get the feeling that this is complaining because it's null. As question type. Update a question type or null. Rather than a map, let's do this in a for each, because if it returns null, then that could cause an issue. So rather than return, we do new question array dot push. That's the error. Okay, and the same thing here. New question array dot push. Update question. Okay, what's the issue? It's missing the following properties. Question type, that's referencing this. Okay. That will do it. Okay. So question type array here. Question type array here. And I think that should do it. Refresh question. Okay. And load question, and that should take an ID and return question type. Okay, perfect. And let's just put that over here. Export const load question equals that. Then we will just we'll just duplicate this. Well, that way save us a bit of hassle. But rather than having a take and a page, we want to find first, and this should have a where question ID even is question ID. Perfect. And we want this to be the same here. So we'll just copy this line. Cool. Let's just do a final import, and hopefully that's worked. What's this missing? I've been eternal somewhere. Is not assignable to type. Type. Well, not assignable. Yeah, cut. Thank you. It is not assignable to question type. Type. What is it missing? Ah, right. Okay, that's why. Okay. So in here, rather than returning just the, we don't need the total. We just want to run the query. So constant data equals await query, and we want to return this. Remove that even, and we just want to return data. And hopefully that would have fixed it. So hit save. What's it missing? Yeah, okay, so if this fails, whoops, not here, sorry. If this fails, then this should return a null or undefined. Yeah, we'll just do it null. And okay, nice, cool. Okay, cool. Well, that seems to have worked. And what we can do here is change this to be a template string. And we should just be able to check for votes. So question.vote dot in theory it should only return one vote, shouldn't it? So why are we getting many multiples? Okay, well, let's just simplify this a bit and check if they voted for this answer. So const votes equals question dot vote dot filter. That's perfect. Question dot vote is possibly undefined, so we'll do that. And if there is a vote, so yeah, dot length is more than 0, voted. We need to check this. Voted and background green 300. Okay, nice. Alright, well, let's give this a go and see what happens. Feel like a lot's gonna break, but whatever. We'll figure this out. And I've forgotten the use server somewhere. There needs to be a use server here. So this needs, or just move it at the top of the file, it's just be easier to read. And we can remove this. Same thing over here. That's fine. And this is where we're losing it. Okay. Moment of truth. Yay. Okay, not quite what we wanted. That would do it. So if we hit yay, let's actually check in the database if it's updated. Dashboard, and then this, table editor, and then votes. Okay, we have a vote and we have the answer ID, so right, so why isn't this turning green? It's just console.log question votes questions.vote question.votes, and let's have a look. Votes is undefined. What is that? The reason that it could be undefined, you know what, let's have a look in here. Console.log, wait, there's a user. Okay, we've got a user. We've got a user ID, so it should enter here. And let's have a look at what data is outputting. Data votes. Okay, so let's do data.vote. Wait. Oh, okay, data 0.votes. Votes. How do we force this? Might do. We'll just do a JSON.stringify and then dig through this. Votes. Could it be? That's the reason. There should be votes. Okay. Votes. Okay, that will do it. Right, let's have a look. There we go. And if we change this to nay, then it changes. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so there's a bit of a delay. It takes a bit of time, but it does seem to be working. Let's remove these console.logs from here and from here. Okay, nice. Let's add another question. Tesla or Porsche? Tesla, Porsche, and hit submit. And Porsche, yay, nay. Fantastic. And what if we load a couple more? How many will it actually load? Okay, nice, cool. So we've pretty much got the bare bones application working. What would be cool is if it said who it was created by, and then it had a progress indicator almost of like what side the coin falls. So that is what we can do tomorrow. Cool. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video by any means, if it helped you, it would be massively appreciated if you could give it a thumbs up and give me a subscribe, because it tells the algorithm that I'm putting out half decent content and it massively supports my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.